Welcome to Make It Happen Monday, my weekly dose of healthy inspiration. You know, gratefully, we have a huge list of superstar foods. On my personal superstar food list, there are about 60. And the reality is there are a tiny handful of those that truly are in a league all of their own. Think of them as sort of like the Michael Jordan of the superstar foods, right? And today's Make It Happen Monday is featuring one of those very, 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 very special superstars, and that would be Brussels sprouts. They were developed by cancer researchers at Johns Hopkins. That's pretty impressive right there. And their very well-deserved claim to fame is that they have 20 to 50 times more of the wonder compound sulforaphane than even mature broccoli. And by the way, mature broccoli, as you know, is just an amazing food in itself because of its sulforaphane. But Brussels sprouts, which are simply the immature seedlings of a broccoli plant, as developed kind of with these special researchers. They played around with crossbreeding and some other stuff and were able to get the concentrations of sulforaphane and those immature seedlings up to those kind of astounding levels. And sulforaphane is arguably the most famous of all phytochemicals, and there are thousands of phytochemicals. I talk about them all the time, and I remember very vividly when the first phytochemical was discovered and characterized, because it was sulforaphane. And I remember my father, who was then a practicing surgeon who had an interest in nutrition, calling me, and he knew at the time I was in college and I was studying nutrition, and he said, "Ann, have you heard that they've discovered a cancer-fighting substance in broccoli?" And I said, "No, Dad." And he said, "They just can't believe it, and they put it in the test tube with cancer cells, and the cancer cells immediately die." Well, since then, I will tell you, there have been 2,000 published studies in peer-reviewed biomedical journals telling us all the amazing things that this sulforaphane can do, and it's across the board. It's not just, cancer protection. So what do we know? And the scientists have very carefully and accurately and kind of completely elucidated exactly what sulforaphane does in our bodies biochemically. And there are three huge things. So it's easy to remember this. The first one is that sulforaphane has very, very powerful antioxidant power. It's one of the most potent of all known antioxidants, including like vitamin C, vitamin E, and all these other polyphenol phytochemicals. And why are antioxidants important? At the molecular level, that's the nitty-gritty level in the human body. The final common pathway of damage is almost across the board oxidation. Antioxidants stop that. So again, that should tell you, oh wow, that's given me, super way upstream, broad spectrum health protection. And what's unique about sulforaphane, it's not only this super potent antioxidant, it's really long lasting. Many of these wonderful, antioxidants, there's lots of other ones out there, they only last in the body often, after you consume them, a few hours. Well, sulforaphane, how about 72 hours, up to 72 hours. The other thing is very bioavailable. It's not uncommon that really wonderful polyphenol antioxidants, only like 1 to 2 or 3% can make their way into your cells. In other words, they have very low bioavailability. Sulforaphane is 80% bioavailable. So that's amazing, long-lasting, highly bioavailable, and very potent in its antioxidant power. The second thing is anti-inflammatory power. Very powerful. Why is anti-inflammatory power important? At the tissue and cellular level, excess inflammation is the key driver of really most every chronic condition, or a primary driver of most every chronic condition. It's weight gain, it's dementia, it's promotion of cancer, it's cardiovascular disease, it's asthma, allergies, autoimmune conditions. It's one of the things that's so lethal about the worst COVID infections. So, one of the hottest things going in my world is teaching people how to eat and live in such a way that inflammation is kept lower. Boy, can Brussels sprouts do that. And the third and final thing, really amazing, is it has, just incredibly robust detoxification power. So, your body is endowed with these just glorious systems to help us detox, because we're exposed to so many toxins in our environment. We make toxins in our own body as part of metabolism. We get them from metabolizing prescription drugs. They're kind of like everywhere now. So Brussels sprouts give our detoxing enzymes, specifically the phase 2 detoxing enzymes, they turbocharge them. So fantastic for helping us detox. And again, that's relevant for every protection from every form of health condition. Okay, now, so you can get Brussels sprouts in most all grocery stores. I see them at most every grocery store I shop. It doesn't have to be some special grocery store. And if your other highlights or high points or great things about Brussels sprouts, unlike the other sprouts, like alfalfa sprouts, which you probably have already heard are something in a way we tell people not to get from the grocery store, because they're just notorious foods for having bacterial contamination and causing foodborne illness, like salmonella, which can be a really bad, potentially lethal diarrheal infection. There's never been a reported case of foodborne illness from Brussels sprouts, and it's because how they are grown, how they're harvested, how they're packaged. They come ready to eat. They've already been washed. You don't have to wash them. And how do I use them? Well, I have a very strong history of breast cancer. My amazing sister Dixie, you hear me up there, died of breast cancer, and my mother's a breast cancer survivor, and I'm totally keyed in because I know I'm uniquely high risk to get breast cancer. I'm totally keyed in on all the things I can do, and I really strive to have like a cup of Brussels sprouts, half a cup or a cup every day. What I usually do, and you can put them on cereals, you can add them to wraps. They add this crunchy texture, and they're flavorful. They're a little bit nutty, but what I do, because I think of it almost like medicine in a way, and I don't mind doing, I want to make sure I do it, is I will take a half a cup or a cup and I just put it in a little bowl, hit it with some balsamic vinegar, and I just quickly throw it in before I eat my lunch. That's a common way I do it. Anyway, but you can do it any way you want. You can put them on soups. You just use them as a garnish all over the place. But the point is, you should be doing more Brussels sprouts to just take advantage of all of that just health, wow them that I talked about.